Prince of thieves, catch me in the trees. Full long under the sleeves, covered in leaves. Dark night shooters, Rugers, black capes folded over Wranglers. The gold Dobermans with keys. Run the town cracksmiths, we clap kids.
Guys, what is up? Welcome to another episode of Maximilian Must Know. This is another video in the series of the best fragrances in my collection video. So I'm doing these every 3 months. I've done 2 so far. I did like best oud and best amber, and today I'm gonna hit you with best orange fragrances in my collection. I thought about doing citruses at first, but then I was like, man, there's grapefruit fragrances in here, there's lime, there's yuzu, so I would just rather break those up and do a separate lime one, a separate grapefruit one, maybe a separate grapefruit one, a separate lime one, a separate lemon one. And today we're just going to focus on orange. The way this works is I'm going to give you 5 bottles in my collection that are my favorite, 3 honorable mentions, and then some stuff I have samples of. So these are fragrances that orange is somewhere in there. Could be bergamot, neroli, petitgrain, something from a tree that has an orange on it. And these are my top 5 favorite. Now there are many orange fragrances I don't have that I think are excellent. Of course, Neroli Portofino by Tom Ford. I don't really love that one because I don't think it lasts that long, but I think that's a great orange fragrance. Forte, Neroli Portofino Forte lasts a little bit longer. Of course, Chanel's Cologne, Eau de Cologne, mainly lemon in that one, but that has some nice orange notes as well. And the classic Eau Sauvage, again, lemon, but there's some orange elements in that one as well. As far as what I have samples of that I really enjoy, but I don't have a bottle of yet, or just probably won't add to my collection, of course, Neo by Xerjoff, great citrus fragrance. Rive d'Ambre, another Tom Ford that I was really sort of surprised by. I think that's a great orange fragrance. Ultra Zest by Terry Mugler, really good one. The Original 1861 by Xerjoff. Amazing fragrance with orange notes. Hermes has 2. Très Fraîche, Terre de Hermes Très Fraîche. The original Terre de Hermes as well. Orange Vert, of course, are all great orange fragrances that I have samples of. One that should get an honorable mention, but I couldn't find it, and I only like to do 3 honorable mentions, is 4711. You have to respect the architect. That is the original Eau de Cologne. And even though it doesn't last that long, it's still a great fragrance, and I don't know if we'd be talking about any of these if that one never came out. So here are my 3 honorable mentions. The first one is from the House of Lush. This one is called All Good Things, and I think this is really underrated. Yeah, it's mainly tonka, woods, and spices, but there's a really nice orange note in here. It's sort of reminds me of an orange creamsicle with some resins in it. So really good orange fragrance there. Check it out. It's super cheap. The next one, we all got to thank Coach Rob for this one. This one is Bergamoto Merino by Gianfranco Ferre, my second honorable mention. I think most people who've tried this agree that it's really good. I know a few people don't like it, but for me it lasts better than Neroli Portofino, and I actually think there's more going on in it. So I actually personally think it's a better buy than Neroli Portofino. It can be hard to get now because it is discontinued, but just great fragrance with bergamot, neroli. There's melon in here, there's black currant, there's some white florals, there's woods. It's really great fragrance. And then the final honorable mention, none of these are expensive. This one is from the House of Banana Republic. Yep. And this one is called M. Never done a full review on this one, but this one is a really nice citrus and woody fragrance with some musk and herbs. The opening of this is maybe as good as any orange fragrance I've ever smelled. It literally smells like a freshly expressed orange peel. So if you ever get a chance and you're in Banana Republic, do check out M. Let's get into my top 5 now. Orange fragrances in my collection. The first one is from the House of Profumum Aroma, guys. This one is called Dolces in Fundo. This is the only one from this house that I own, and this is maybe the strongest fragrance in my entire collection. One spray of this guy, and you know, like I have people who come into my office when I wear this at work, and feel like I must have a new reed diffuser. That's how strong it is. It is a really beautiful creamsicle fragrance. You know, All Good Things by Lush has that creamsicle vibe, but it's also very resinous-like. There's something in there that's like incensey. This one, no. This is just really about vanilla, really strong vanilla and citrus. It smells like a creamsicle, and it is so strong. Honestly, it just lasts forever and ever. I really only do rock one spray of this. So that is number 5 on my list, Dolces in Fondo by Profumum Roma. Number 4 on the list is from the House of Mugler Cologne. You know, the only fragrance I have that I feel like is a better soapy fragrance is Prada Infusion D'Homme, but this one, Mugler Cologne, from the House of Terry Mugler, just a great fragrance with neroli, bergamot, petitgrain, musk, and that mysterious S molecule that I think is probably ISOE super, but you know, can't prove it. It's funny because I really didn't think of this as a citrus or an orange fragrance, but then when I was going through the note breakdown and I saw, wait a second, there is neroli in this one, there's bergamot in this one, there's petitgrain. I guess it really is a super clean, soapy, musky orange fragrance, and for the money, one of the best, just one of the best fragrances all around, especially for springtime and summer. This one kind of, to me, smells like Irish Spring soap, and it's incredible. So that one is number 4. Number 3 is from the House of Hermes. Yes, I mentioned Orange Vert. I mentioned Terre de Hermes, and I mentioned Très Fraîche by Terre de Hermes, which I actually prefer to Terre de Hermes, to be honest with you guys. Well, for me, this is my favorite orange fragrance that they make. I smelled this at the boutique when it came out, and I bought a bottle on the spot. Or if not, I came back like the next day. I don't really remember because it was a couple years ago. But yeah, this one is called Eau de Mandarin Ambry. And this is about 3 notes. That's it. It's about mandarin, orange, passion fruit, and amber. And God, this to me really just smells like a juicy mandarin orange. Not just the peel, it's sweet. It smells like the whole fruit. You have a little bit of a tropical vibe. And then the amber provides it some longevity. You know, it might be my favorite from the Cologne collection, although I do really like the rhubarb one that recently came out, that I believe Christine Nagel did that one. And I have to give the neroli one that I believe Elena did, probably his last Cologne fragrance for the house. I have to give that one another look, but this is my 3rd favorite orange fragrance in my collection. This is Eau de Mandarin Ambry by Hermes. Number 2, we're going to go to the House of Xerjoff. You know, I mentioned Neo and I mentioned 1861. For me, this is best in show. I actually won this one from a Brooklyn Fragrance Lover giveaway. This one, Kobe, or I believe it's called Kobe. Oh man, guys, yes, there's neroli, yes, there's mandarins. This is an orange fragrance, but there's this gorgeous creamy, ambery, woody dry down of rosewood and tonka and benzoin and labdanum. It's very rich. It's marshmallowy as it dries down. It just gets nice and sweet and sort of has this roasted feel to it. It's just simply gorgeous. I actually don't like the opening of this that much. I feel like it's a little sharp, but man, once this one dries down, it's hard to do better. And this is my 2nd favorite orange fragrance in my collection, Kobe by Xerjoff. Number 1, guys, for me, and you know, when I bought this, I was like, it was between this and 1861 by Xerjoff, and this one was a little cheaper. And I remember just smelling this in the boutique when it was released. Or I'm sorry, not in, there's a store. Well, yeah, it was the boutique. Santa Maria Novella, it's a boutique. It's just not the Eau de Italy boutique. Santa Maria Novella has a store in New York City on Lafayette Street, right across the street from Supreme, if you happen to know what Supreme is. But there's some Supreme. But anyway, so they have a boutique And they sell Eau de Italy, and I remember just being hyped for this one to come out. And when I got it, I used to call and I'd call up. It's actually really close to mint too. I'd call up, be like, "Do you get it? Do you get it?" And finally, they got it. And I went in and I sprayed it on my arm, and I was just like, "Whoa, the citrus in this one is just so freaking good." I thought about considering this as a lemon scent because the lemon is so prominent, but so is mandarin, petitgrain, and neroli, and that's all surrounding mint, some vetiver and wood. So from the house of Eau de Italy, this one is just called Acqua Decima. Man, is this a great eau de cologne. Just super fresh, great presentation, beautiful bottle, and so authentic. Just such authentic citrus notes. You could just really spray yourself down with this when it gets warm out, and you can never overdose like you can with Dulcis and Fundo, and it's going to smell super natural and just really refreshing and just a great scent. And as I experiment with perfumery, the more I'm starting to learn how hard it is to just make a really high quality, authentic citrus fragrance, because there's really good citrus materials out there, both aroma chemicals and naturals, but none of them smell like these super authentic citrus scents. You gotta get them there by blending and making accords. So just something to keep in mind. So guys, that is my top 5 orange fragrances in my collection. And in 3 months, the next list I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about the 5 most daring fragrances in my collection, both ones I have samples of and bottles, and I think you'll be surprised to see how I feel about some of those. But I've got a bunch of ideas for this series. As I said, if there's anything more you'd like to see, please just drop a comment. And if I think it makes sense and I have enough, at least 5 in my collection that I could fit in there, I'll definitely add it to the list. But I got about 50 ideas for all different notes and just categories of fragrances, stuff like bargain fragrance, unisex fragrances, white floral fragrances, fragrances to impress, cinnamon fragrances, licorice fragrances, flankers, non-citrus fruit, boozy fragrances, perfumers, night out fragrances. So just all different categories. And guys, hope you're enjoying these. Let me know what your top 5 favorite orange fragrances are, or even just your favorite orange fragrance. And I'll see you next week with more videos, guys. My name is Maximilian.
Want a ransom, or drop them out the motion. Just answer who run them niggas, who run niggas. Did something but don't want nothing. Just don't cuff or bluff them. Pyramid mansions, we give grandsons. Take them out of space, take apes, now go plant something.